Welcome back. It's First Friday Fitness, and you know on First Friday Fitness I share with you things that I have learned, things that I have had to do over the many years of overcoming, conquering, and making it through, right? Surviving and thriving in the midst of illness, sickness, and disease. I share with you the things that we've learned that I've had to do physically with physical therapy or other things. Also, I share with you things that I've taken, things that I've done, things that have helped me with different situations on First Friday Fitness. Now remember, every Thursday of every week, our regular Surviving and Thriving videos come out, and that's where we talk about all the things that deal with life, overcoming and conquering sickness, illness, disease, how to transition your family from struggling to survive disease to thriving, living your best life right in the midst of it. So make sure you watch those Thursday videos and keep your eyes out for First Friday Fitness. And this here is First Friday Fitness. Yay! So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about cramping. And I'm not talking about menstrual cramps. I'm talking about muscle cramps. I'm talking about things that you experience in your muscles, in your abdomens, in your hands, in your feet, in your legs. Those types of cramping, not female issue type cramping. Now, you can experience cramping in your muscles with a lot of different things. Some of the things, if you're dealing with dehydration, you may very well experience a lot of cramping with that. If you are experiencing dialysis, if you are a dialysis patient, you have kidney issues, you may be experiencing some cramping sometimes after you're done with your dialysis. But you can experience if your muscles are overworked. Sometimes if you're exercising a lot and your muscles are overworked, you might experience cramping in your muscles. So we're going to talk a little bit about cramping. The first thing I want to tell you is that if you are experiencing cramping, you might want to check and make sure you're not dehydrated. If you are dehydrated, the best thing for you to do is to get hydrated as soon as possible, because dehydration is something very dangerous that you really don't want to play with. But when you start thinking about dehydration and you start thinking about cramping, you start thinking about sometimes it may be that your electrolytes are off, your sodium level is off, your potassium level, your magnesium level, your electrolytes. And a lot of people think, well, if I'm doing exercise, if I'm doing this, I need to, stay hydrated, so I'm going to drink a sports drink, your Gatorade, your Powerade, things like that. Well, those things are actually good. They help you with your electrolytes. However, they're very high in sugar. And when you're overcoming and conquering sickness and disease, you do not need a lot of sugar, especially if people are diabetic or things like that. The sugar, right, can have a lot of different effects on the body. And there's a lot of diseases out there, you all, that actually feed on sugar. So you don't want to have a lot of sugar intake. So if you need to balance out your electrolytes, and you know that it's your electrolytes that are off, if your doctor's told you, or if you just happen to know your body and how it works, if you had labs or something, you know your electrolytes are off and you want an alternative to something sugary and sweet, I would highly recommend Emergency. You see that? This is what it looks like, Emergencies. You can get these in your local health food stores. You can also get these in your local grocery stores. These are everywhere, and they have different flavors. This one is a lemon lime. Oh, I brought up 2 lemon limes, but they have orange. They have different flavors. Now, these are pretty much, I would say, in my opinion, without being a scientist and knowing all the details, it's kind of like taking some Gatorade or a Powerade, right? But without all the sugar. It has everything you need to build up your electrolytes in it, and you just pour the contents of one of these inside of some water, shake it up, and drink it. You can tell that it doesn't have sugar in it. I think that's a nice way to say that, right? That it doesn't taste sugary, because it's not the greatest thing to taste in the world. I know some people really like them. For me, it is not the greatest thing in the world to taste. I can tell that there's no sugar in it, but it's very good for you, and it will help to balance out your electrolytes. So if you're dehydrated and your electrolytes are off, and maybe you're not dehydrated, your electrolytes could just be off, this might be helpful. Now, the thing about this is that when you're dealing with illness and sickness and disease, depending on what you're dealing with, You might have to watch your sodium levels, your potassium levels, or something like that. So that might be something that you might want to look at, because it may help you get up, say if your magnesium is low. It may help get your magnesium back up, but it can send you over in potassium or another electrolyte. So you need to be cautious when you use this. Talk to your doctors and make sure that it's something that's good for you. But this is very good for getting your electrolytes up. And I think I did go over that, right? That when you're dealing with your electrolyte levels, you're talking about things such as sodium, potassium, magnesium. Those are things that you're dealing with when you're talking about your electrolytes. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is melatonin. I was looking for some because I normally have some so that I could share it with you. I don't know if I looked in the wrong place, or if I'm out, I'm going to have to talk to my family about that. So I don't have any to show you right now. But you can get everything I'm sharing with you, you can get at your local health food stores, okay? You can go to a Whole Foods, you can go to a Sprouts or something like that and find the things that you're looking for. And a lot of it you might find in your local grocery stores as well. But melatonin is very good. It helps to relax and calm the body. Most people think of melatonin just for helping you to relax and go to sleep. Melatonin is good for that. It's a natural thing that our body produces. It helps us to calm down and relax, but it has so much more than it does than relaxing the body. So you might really want to look into melatonin. It might be something good for you to take. Now, if you are taking melatonin, not only does it relax the body, but because it's relaxing the body, it causes the muscles to relax, which will help, because when you're cramping, your legs are cramping or your body is cramping, the muscle is tightening up, and that melatonin will help those muscles to relax. So that's a really good thing that you can do. It can also help you sleep, but if you have high blood pressure, you really want to look into melatonin because it helps to bring that blood pressure down. How does it help to bring that blood pressure down? It helps you to relax. It calms the body. The other thing I want to talk to you about today is magnesium. Now, I'm going to show you these products. They are different brands. I'm not promoting the brand like I told you before on other videos. Once again, I use different brands depending upon the time, the season, right? So I use different brands. What you want to look at more so is just the quality as well as the dosing of it. That's really important. So this one right here is magnesium, and it's a 200 milligram dosing. Okay, so when you get your herbs or your magnesium or anything else, any herb that you get, it will have the type of dosing, whether it's an IU or mg or what have you, a gram, you'll see whatever it is. So this is magnesium. It's a 200 dosing. Now, magnesium is really, really good for you. A lot of people that have heart issues, you know, doctors will put you on heart medications, but a lot of times it's the heart needs magnesium. And so a lot of those heart issues can be solved with magnesium, but you would have to work with a naturopathic doctor, a homeopathic doctor, to find out how much you need, how often you need it, if that is right for you. So consider magnesium for that. But magnesium also helps to relax the muscles. So if you're finding yourself cramping a lot, if you start taking some magnesium, you'll find that it'll help to relax those muscles. It also helps too for people who are on dialysis, that find that they get a lot of cramping while they're doing dialysis. If they take some magnesium, it'll help them to get through that a little bit, and it'll also help strengthen their heart, because that dialysis machine, it does a lot of that, messes a lot with that. So if you're on dialysis, you might want to look into this. Remember, talk to your doctors about everything, but this will be a good thing for you to look into. So it's very helpful for cramping. Lavender. So I have lavender here. This one's, I think, is about empty. And here we go. Lavender. Right? Remember, you want 100% pure. But the lavender is also good for you because it does help relax you. It does help calm you down. I like using lavender a lot. It helps my family to calm down, to go to sleep, or if they're riled up and I need to bring some calmness in the room, depending on the situation, circumstances, and who's at my house, I might put some lavender in, right? But lavender is really good for that. It helps calm the body. Now, I'm going to tell you that, like, if I put a carrier oil, say, with all oils, if you're going to use it topically, you need to use a carrier oil. Most times you can use it inside of your diffuser. It will work for you as well. If I'm dealing with some type of a cramping, you guys, I usually put some stuff in my diffuser as well as rub it on my body topically. So what I'll do is I'll get some coconut oil, some olive oil, some jojoba oil, something like that, and I'll put drops of it in there. Now, I've used lavender before. It really does help calm. What I found with lavender is it will help calm. It will bring down, depending on the level of cramping that you're experiencing. It might loosen it up a little bit, but still be some cramping, or it might take it away completely. But I found that it doesn't have a long-lasting effect, at least for me in the times that I've used it, when I've used it topically. Okay, but you can use it topically as well as in a diffuser. But I just wanted to tell you that what my experience with the lavender has been. Now, the other thing is, I've heard people pronounce this in several different ways, ylang ylang or ylang ylang. Either way, the stuff works great. Now, ylang ylang is good for a lot of things. I talked about this in the circulation video as well. If you want to go back and look at that on First Friday Fitness, dealing with chiropractors and circulation, I talk about ylang ylang. Ylang ylang, you guys, you really need to research it. It has so many benefits. It's good for women and hormonal issues. It's good for dealing with, we'll just say everything, dealing with female organs and body parts and hormones. But it's also very good for relaxing the body. Relaxing the body, help bringing that blood pressure down. And it is excellent to use for cramping. If you put it into the diffuser, or if you rub it on, either way works better. I use it in tandem, or I'll just put it on. A lot of times I might not, put it in the diffuser. Depends on where I'm at and what I'm doing. I'll just put it on, but I'll use it with a carrier oil. I'll put some olive oil, some coconut oil, some jojoba oil, 1 drop of ylang ylang. Ylang ylang goes a long way. So one little bottle like this, use quite frequently. You guys, I've had this one for over a year, maybe 2 years now, and I use it a lot. I could tell you there's hardly a week that goes by that I haven't used it multiple times. 1 drop goes a long way, and it smells very good, or at least to me, and it's really calming and relaxing as well to help your family relax. But I like the ylang ylang, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if you find that you're cramping up, your hands are cramping, your arms are cramping, your abdomens, whatever is on your body is cramping, you put some of that, 1 drop of that ylang ylang with some carrier oil on it, and you rub it on there, and that stuff stops almost instantaneously. There are times, depending on how bad your body's cramping or what you got going on, that I've used it and it stopped for maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes or more. And there's other times I put it on and it just knocked it out. But I've had severe cramping at times, and I use that ylang ylang, and that thing knocks it out. So more often than not, I will have ylang ylang in there. Sometimes I use it by itself. Sometimes I'll mix it with lavender. Sometimes I'll mix it with, what else? Peppermint or eucalyptus or something like that. Depends on what I'm trying to accomplish at the time. But I use the ylang ylang a lot. I've also mixed the ylang ylang with a carrier oil and eucalyptus for, I don't think I want to go into that right now. We're going to stick with the point. I'm sorry about that. But so just for cramping, for muscle cramping, I would use the ylang ylang. I would highly recommend using the ylang ylang. So let's just recap real quick. You can use melatonin. You can get melatonin. All of these things I'm sharing with you will help to relax you. It'll help you with your blood pressure. It'll help you to sleep, to calm tensions down and stresses down and bring a calm and an ease about. But it will also help you with cramping. So melatonin, right? There's one. We also talked about magnesium. Magnesium is a good one. It's a good thing for your heart. If you have heart issues, you might want to look into taking some magnesium. It'll also help you go to bed as well, or to relax. We talked about lavender, right? And we also talked about emergency. Now, emergency doesn't help you to go to sleep. It just helps to balance out your electrolytes, which sometimes cramping deals with a lot of electrolytes. Ooh, what do I have this one for? That's not it. Okay, so hopefully those are things that can help you. Remember, in all things, talk to your doctors. Do what you know is best for your body. In all things, do you. And until next time, have a great day. Bye.